Good afternoon, everyone. In this video, this engineer is going to present the results of his Basic Engineering B project. In order to conduct this project, the engineer used the engineering design process, which is a process to design a device that would solve a problem affecting our community. In this case, the affected community is the neighborhood of Chondat. Here, we see that the engineering design process consists of 7 steps. And we'll go through each one and see how the engineer went through his own engineering design process. So the first step in designing a device to solve a problem is to identify the needs and constraints of the problem. And in this case, that refers to the big question, focus question, and project mission, which all set forth requirements and themes that the project must follow. In this term, the big question is, why might visionary leadership cause and/or affect transformation? The focus question for Basic Engineering B is, are you solving the right problem? The project mission states that sustainability is about the ability to meet the needs of people and their communities and organizations, not just in the near term, but over the long term. It's about people and their needs, not just about technology, the environment, or, quote, being green, unquote. Next, we have to research the problem. Being part of the Chondat community, the engineer can say for certain that flooding, especially in a rainy season, is an extremely disruptive problem that affects the lives of those who live in the community, especially those who live near the Ciliwung River, which passes a portion of Chondat. The main problem that causes this is that trash is thrown vehemently into the river with no regard of the consequences by certain individuals due to the convenience of such action. This buildup causes the water level to be higher than what is expected and results in flooding. But not only does it cause flooding, it also pollutes the river, which makes it harder for the community to use it for their daily needs, such as food, water, and cleaning. The next step is to imagine multiple possible solutions. Pictured here are devices that have been used to collect trash flowing down rivers before, but for one reason or another, such as being too bulky, too costly, not having enough coverage, or simply not being available, the engineer decided to amalgamate some of these ideas and concepts into his own idea. This idea is by no means original, but by selecting the most promising solution, the engineer believes it is the most suitable for the purposes of Ciliwung River cleanup specifically. Here, we see a prototype of the solution. There are 3 parts of the device. First, the biggest piece, is the large mesh that extends from the surface of the river down to the riverbed, held in place by a flotation device at the top and weights at the bottom. Then, we have a conveyor belt to pull the trash that is blocked by the device into a storage container where it can be picked up and disposed of properly. One interesting thing to note is that the engineer intentionally designed the device to be placed in a diagonal angle against the river so that the current would push the trash into the conveyor belt easier. Unfortunately, due to time and resource constraints, the engineer was not able to properly test and evaluate the product. So the next best thing he could do is gather feedback and improve his design using that. In addition to the engineering design process, the engineer also took into account the Sustainable Development Goals set by the United Nations, in particular Sustainable Development Goal 6, Sustainable Development Goal 11, and Sustainable Development Goal 13, which all tie directly to the problem of trash being thrown into the river. This concludes today's video. Thank you for watching if you indeed still are. Goodbye.